Hey everyone, I'm Esther Bettis and I am going to give you all another wedding video. I know my videos vary between travel and work and Invisalign and weddings. I have a lot going on in life and I just really wanted to make this video specifically about weddings and wedding budget because it's something that I'm going through, it's something that other people that are planning weddings are going through, and as a wedding vendor, I'm constantly hearing about wedding budgets when I'm having like just those informal conversations with potential clients or my current clients. So I wanted to talk through wedding budgets. So I thought it was really important to talk through 5 tips for planning a wedding on a budget. Okay, tip number 1. You're gonna carve out what really matters to you and your fiance. Make that your top priority. It can be, I don't know, maybe you really love food. The both of you really care about what the food looks like. Or maybe you both really don't care about desserts. You really need to carve out like what is the thing that you really care about and really put your energy towards that. Once you get that good, then everything else you plan is on that really tight budget, but it's fine because you have that one thing that you really cared about. I've seen some couples that like maybe desserts aren't their thing and they're not gonna really care to really eat cake at the wedding. So they get like a Costco cake and it works out fine. They put their budget where they actually care about. And I've also seen other couples get really creative and they have like a dessert potluck table where everyone just brings one dessert to share with the whole party. It was really neat to see that actually. So there's definitely ways to get really creative when it comes to staying on a budget. And like I said, carving out what really matters is super important because maybe you and your fiance are the type that want to dance the whole night away. So you put more of your money towards that DJ. Just right there, you're ensuring that you're going to have a good wedding. Just be really strict on everything else that you book besides that DJ that you really care about. So yes, I cannot stress enough. Tip number 1 is carve out what really matters, especially before paying any type of invoice. Just really carve out what's important to you both. Okay, this one might get me in trouble, but I'm gonna say it anyways because I think it's really important to say it. Tip number 2, tips are not mandatory. So I say that knowing full well that I'm a wedding vendor and yeah, I appreciate tips when I get them. Do I get tipped every time? No. Do I judge couples that don't tip me? No. You know why? Because I set my own rates. I'm making sure I'm paid what I think I deserve, and that's paid up front before the wedding. So if you're someone that maybe really wants a photo booth, but the price of the photo booth is the same price that you put away for tips for all of your vendors, get the photo booth. Get the photo booth. You do not need to tip your vendors. Vendor tips are, like I said, appreciated, but they're not mandatory. And I just think the tipping culture has gotten really out of hand, at least in the United States. And for weddings themselves, you're already paying so much when it comes to these services, which they deserve. It's what they put as their price for the service. So pay that and be on your way. Just stay on that budget. And like I said, tips are not something that you really need to be, maybe not getting something that you really like because you're trying to plan for the tips. Like I said, I'm a wedding vendor and I don't look at any couple any different when they don't tip me. I promise. So tips are not mandatory. That is my tip number 2 and I'm sticking with it. If I get ate up in the comments, I do not care. Tip number 3 is you're gonna give someone new a chance. So if you're trying to plan your wedding on a budget, I'm sure you're running into a bunch of vendors that are probably way out of your price range. And, well, I should say depending on your budget, but in the US, the average wedding I think is anywhere between $35,000 and $45,000. And I've seen some people with budgets that are like 5, 10, 20,000, and I'm in one of those numbers, so I completely get it. I would say if you have a lower budget, just get ready to possibly go after a vendor that maybe is new to the game, and that's okay. As long as you're not type A about the service they're going to be performing, then I think trying someone new is a great way to stay within budget. Maybe go to a college campus, put up flyers, maybe you're looking for a photographer or a videographer. There are so many people just looking for an opportunity and would be happy to have something like this. My first wedding photography gig I charged them $300 for like 6 hours, which is really cheap for a wedding photographer. Were the photos horrendous in my eyes? Looking back now, yes. But did the couple love the photos and leave me really great reviews? Also yes. So I would say if you're gonna hire someone new to the game, just be really mindful that they're newer, be mindful that you're on a budget, and go from there. Okay, tip number 4 is minimal plus ones. This one is almost as bad, saying out loud, as the tips one. I know some people really want to take a plus one. Your cousin Bob, he wants to bring his girlfriend of 2 months to the wedding. But hear me out. A plus one can cost a lot of money because you're paying for the plate, you're paying for the chair, the table linens. It's a whole thing, okay? And mind you, food plates can vary between like $25 to like $150. And that's just from what I've seen personally. So not everyone needs a plus one. You will not be the first person to ever tell people they don't get a plus one. And I promise that the earth will continue to keep going. Do I sound kind of bitchy saying that? Yes, I do. But it's your wedding. You're paying for it. I'm assuming you're paying for it if you're watching my video on how to stay on a budget. If you're not paying for the wedding, I think we should talk another day. If you're paying for the wedding yourself, it's your wedding to make however you want to make. And if you're trying to stay on a budget, tip number 4 of minimal plus ones, I'm telling you, is a good one. Okay, and tip number 5, which is my favorite tip of all of them, focus on the bigger picture. So you're here because you're trying to plan a wedding on a budget. I'm sure this budget was decided by you and your fiance, or maybe just one of you and the other one's trying their best to stay on it. But it's really important to focus on the larger aspect of the why you're getting married in the first place and the why you're planning a wedding. Divorce rates are high in the United States. And there's a stat out there that says the more you spend on your wedding, the higher chance you are to get divorced. So with that, I will also say you do deserve your dream wedding. You really do. You deserve your dream wedding. But you also, more importantly, deserve your dream life, your dream relationship, and you don't want to compromise your dream life and your dream relationship because you're being very dumb with your wedding budget. Like if you have a wedding budget, stay in there. Do not go over. I think focusing on the bigger picture really means like just seeing this for what it is. And unfortunately, it is one day in the grand scheme of it all. I'm sure if you're here, you're getting married, hopefully, and I really pray that you're getting married to someone lovely, someone that treats you with respect, someone that absolutely loves you, and someone that you're really excited to spend the rest of your life with. So blowing your budget does not need to be something that you do, because you're already having the most perfect life and relationship with this person. So why blow your budget and start your life off together in a financial hole? I didn't mean to get so deep there at the end, but I feel really passionate about finances. I feel passionate about weddings. And so putting them together, I think for me, I don't know. A lot of the tips in my head, they make sense. Hopefully they make sense to you. These were 5 tips for planning your wedding on a budget. If you have any questions or ever want to talk through anything, please do not hesitate to send me a nice email or drop it in the comments. I absolutely love my wedding planning journey. I also love being a part of other people's wedding planning journey through wedding photography and then now here on YouTube as well. So please do not hesitate to reach out, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wedding content, and have a beautiful life. Have a beautiful life and do not go over that budget, because you deserve a good life where you're not financially putting yourself at risk. Alright, so thank you for watching and good luck.